Hey YouTube, what's up? How you guys doing? So back here again, we're gonna be doing the Defenders and Medics Archetypes video. So we talked about it before, where we have different archetypes of different classes, and we're gonna be talking about the Defenders today. So if you're looking at Defenders are your high HP, high defense units. They're the ones that are your tanks. You put them back there, they're gonna block up from anywhere from 2 to 4 people. Hopefully level up Gummy so she can get her 3 block. But yeah, you can block anywhere from 2 to 4 people, and it's going to be like your back line. This is your final defense. These people are supposed to stay there and keep you alive. You also have in that kind of grouping, you have your archetypes. You have things like the heal type. This is what I would call the heal type. This is where we put those units that are going to be either giving themselves heals or giving heals to other people in the party. So you have people like Cardigan, you have people like Gummy, you're gonna have people like Matterhorn, Saria. They give out heals to people in your party. So it kind of like alleviates some of the work from your healers. Super awesome. And you have like your defense type units. They're kind of like Beagle, Cora. They're like doing crazy amounts of defense buffing. And you also have like, I would call Matterhorn in there too. Even though defense is like a physical stat, Matterhorn does buff magic resistance, which is like a defensive stat, right? It's against magic resistance. So you can like, and he also has very, very high HP. So you can actually be able to tank a lot of like mage damage, which is awesome because just most tanks can't do that. So it's kind of unique in that one. You also have your attack type of defenders, which are like Hoshiguma, Liskarm, Vulcan. They get crazy buffs. They have really high attack damage for their class. Like they actually are about Vanguard strength worth of attackers. So definitely potentially look, if you get them, if you have them on your team, make sure you use them because they'll be able to alleviate some of your stress from like, hey, I need another extra DPS here. Now you got your attack type tank. Now inside of the Defenders and the Medics, there's a lot of hybrids. So there's like, I would say like the special types of tanks. For example, you have Hoshiguma, who can also, besides just getting attack buffs, she also gets defense buffs, and it can also throw back the attack to the enemies, which is kind of cool, pretty unique. You have people like Vulcan, who can go from being a regular tank, being pretty buff, to just straight up getting like a crazy attack buff and just turning into like pretty much a Vanguard and is only be able to block 2 people, but she can do like crazy damage. Or Liskarm, who can actually do range damage. She can actually shoot out flyers out of the sky, which is freaking awesome. You also have a Croissant, which has abilities kind of like a specialist, which is kind of weird. She does a push. She can also she's a shift character, so you can put her up on high ground and low ground, which is nobody really does that besides specialists. So it's a very, very, very cool thing. All right, and then if you look at your other types, we have your Medics, right? So your Medics are your healers. Those are the people that are going to be keeping people alive. And inside of that one, it's pretty simple. All of them, I'm not going to go over like for the archetypes. I'm not going to ever say there's a single type healer, single target healer, because all of them do single target healing. Some of them just do multiple on top of that. So there are multiple type healer archetypes, right? So there are people that can actually heal like 2, 3 people at the same time. For example, like Perfumer, she heals 3 people at the same time, and she also heals the whole party all the time, which is kind of cool, a little different from the other ones. And you have like your buff type, like Talapsis, for example, who she heals people and also gives SP, which is what you use for skills. So it's pretty much a cooldown reduction on people. So it's like really, really cool. You have like units like that. So potentially make sure you get a buff type unit inside of your party at some point if you need it. You also have your hot type. We're not calling them high. We're calling them healing over time. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know you guys. Anyways, so you get your healing over time units like such as Gaviel, which is your free unit that you get from the credit store. So make sure you spend your credits every day so you don't have like, you don't go over cap, and you're able to buy these like units to get from free. You can get a free potential 6 unit over time, you know what I mean? So it's like 2 weeks or something like that. And you'll be able to get Gaviel, who does healing over time. She throws a hot on somebody for like 7 seconds that she doesn't have to really worry about healing them. Those are really good units to use in such stages where like you have a lot of poison, or you got like lava stuff going on, or any kind of other like whatever kind of hazards may appear in the game. Those are kind of units you might want to use for those situations, for people that are going to be like in harm's way constantly, like, hey, and make sure that they're good. You also have your shield typing. of units. You have like people like Nightingale and Shining who can put up shields on your units to help them out. Keeps them from taking damage for a while, and they can work on other stuff. And some of them give like other buffs on top of that, so it'd be like resistance up or something like that. So it's definitely pretty cool to have on your team if you can get it. You can get it from pulls, you can buy them from the store sometimes. It's very, very useful to potentially have those on your team for like really hard content, right? And you also have what I call your familiar type healers. You're like, what's that mean? It's the ones that like are silenced, like for example, where she has a drone. She puts out a drone out. She can heal on the other side of the map. Really great. All the familiars I'm talking about, they're ones that do not cost for your unit limit. So also in there, I would call Lancet your familiar type healer, because this is one that unit you can put out there, instantly heals everybody. It doesn't cost anything to your limit cost, right? There's no deployment limit. On top of that, Nightingale, you've noticed, remember the hybrid units where they do like so many different jobs? Nightingale's one of those. She does like every single healer job. It's crazy. When you hit her with Elite 2, she'll get Fleeting Phantom, which is pretty much like 2 familiars you can put on the map that will pull aggro away from enemies. They can't block anybody, but they just like will make enemies attack them, and they have certain amount of HP, and it'll keep your team kind of like safe for a little bit, especially if you have like mages or something like that, considering that she's like the anti-mage healer. So it's definitely kind of cool to have these kind of units if you happen to get them, especially like Lancet. You get Lancet, use Lancet. Lancet's pretty dope. Okay, also gets a skin later on for some reason. That's really weird. But guys, these are the different types of a new day. Okay, cool. These are new types of archetypes of defenders and medics. I hope this video helps you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, drop them below in the comments. And also you can always hit me up in the stream on Twitch. And I catch you guys later. Thanks.